And the human here, it is not today, this TapQi live event, but it is on the 2nd and 22nd of every month. TapQi live event, free to the public, right? So on the 22nd of the month, which is the one that we're coming up on here in 6 days, 7 days, is this. It's called a tap-in 2x2. It happens on the 22nd at 2:22 p.m. Mountain Time. All right. Now, this is, like I said, it's free to the public. And its reason it's called tap-in 2x2, right? PTSD clearing session. Da, da, da. Where's the camera? It's clearing session, right? Is that we want you to bring somebody else. Someone who's been through the same or similar pain, trauma, like if you're a fireman, bring another fireman. If you're a veteran, bring another veteran. If you're a medic, bring another medic. If you're a former addict, bring another former addict. Whatever it is. All right, and so it's that whole biblical thing of Noah and the 2x2. So you're coming and you're bringing somebody else, and you're both. You're helping yourself and you're helping your friend help themselves, right? And then both of you go out, and next time, you bring your own friend to the camera. So now there's 4 of you, right? And then the next month there's 8 of you. And so this is how this grows, and how this thing's been around for a while, and is the only thing in U.S. psychiatric history legally allowed to use the word cure, tapping, developed originally as thought field therapy by Dr. Roger Callahan, who won the case and was, the only psychiatrist in, like I said, in U.S. legal history legally allowed to use the word cure. Anyway, so this stuff, this PTSD killing and curing thing, I have personally, brought it to hundreds of soldiers, especially some special forces guys and some veterans that were, not willing to come all the way home, or were, homeless, or, so everywhere from the woods to the alleys. And not in a single case have I ever seen tapping not work to get rid of PTSD if the person did the work of tapping. And I say to people, it's not a miracle, but consider this, all right? You can do 3 minutes. This is what I tell people. You can do 3 minutes of tapping, or you can do 30 years of yappy therapy, and you could get the same result. I mean, in this particular case, I'm not just anybody, okay? Tapping, along with Qigong, I represent, has saved my life from some things that you'll only hear about in the TapQi Live group, within the mission. And it's just meant so much to my life to have this tool available for the people I love, and to still be here to give that to people at all. All right, so I'm not just yapping from textbook, or this is the latest thing, right? I've been preaching this since I learned it, and it's been I don't know, like a decade and a half or something at this point, right? I'm also extremely well educated. I mean, I was 10 years old when I got my first accredited college credits, and they were in transactional analysis, and so I'm also coming from a tradition where I had a father who was a minister, became a psychotherapist. I grew up around therapists, and I'm sitting here telling you tapping is better than yappy therapy. Why? Because all what the yappy therapy, I'm sorry, I don't mean any disrespect, but what the therapy is doing is getting you to regurgitate stuff over and over again, hoping that the stuck energy will clear. Where in tapping, right, you're releasing that stuck energy by tapping on meridian points in your body as you do the certain psychological discharge statements, and you're releasing the energy, and you're releasing it now. There's no reason after that to continue to carry it around or have it re-traumatize you every day. I mean, I know guys who, you know, they have firefights in their head. They wake up to nightmares, or used to, that made it so they would not sleep in their own beds with their own families, because the stuff that the military teaches some of these people, okay, some of these soldiers, especially special forces guys, it's like it's all automatic. It's not like getting taught to fight. It's like being taught automatic reactions. The door opens, the stuff happens, and the door closes, it's over with. Now, if you think you're in a firefight and you wake up in your bed with your family around, before you realize it's not a real thing, your automatic reactions, make you think that you might do harm or injury to your own family. And unfortunately, we have stories where this has happened multiple occasions, and it's not necessary, because we have tapping and it works for PTSD. Okay? And through a lot of fight for a couple of years, one VA in California was paying for tapping for veterans, and then some pencil pusher, marked it off. And this is why I will go anywhere to anyone to teach them tapping. If they're a U.S. citizen, especially if they're a veteran, and beyond. The mission, and my personal mission over a long time, has been about these veterans, dwellingless citizens, and taking care of our own. Okay? If you're a soldier, step up. Take care of the PTSD so you can continue to serve your country and your fellow citizens at home, and bring other people to it. If you're a cop, don't worry about the stigma. Learn how to do it. Even if you do it in private, learn tapping. If you're a firefighter, for God's sake, do it. If you're a medic, oh my God, the stuff you've seen. It's as bad as these special forces guys. Okay? You see all sorts of terrible things. Step up. Get your healing. Come to the Tap In 2x2 on the 22nd. And do it every month. Come on the 2nd and learn the Qigong part. Learn all of the TapQi stuff, but, if you can, but for God's sake and for the sake of your country and for yourself and your family, learn the science of tapping. This isn't frou-frou crap. This is a science. Okay? And it's a weapon that if you don't use, it's your fault. If you don't use this tool, this solution, this self-protection, this freeing thing that will free you from that weight, from that, what the Bible calls the burden of your sins, it's your fault. Because you can have freedom, again, in your head, in your heart. I'm not allowed to guarantee anything, especially in public, but I promise you I promise you, it will at least make things better. Please try it. Okay. So, like I said, it's on the 22nd at 2:22 p.m. Mountain Time. Tap in 2x2. PTSD clearing session. We'll be teaching you EFT science. All right. We'll be teaching you about the original thought field therapy. And that was a legal case where it's allowed to use the word cure. We'll teach you the body points, the 6 discharge statements that I use. I get at the setup statements and the 6 reference words that I use. Okay. We'll tell you about the TapQi Life group. All right. And where, you can really focus on learning this stuff and the ins and outs of it and how to, compound it through, cross hemisphere stuff and DSMR and all of this other stuff. And this tapping science is so simple. It's so deceptively simple. And I hope you will embrace it and consider joining the TapQi Life group so you can get energy, clarity, and freedom. So on the 22nd, it's our alpha launch of this TapQi Life group. And so we'll be having a special first in offer. When we do things in the mission, we develop courses and groups and things, we always give the lowest price, the largest amount of access, to the first people who join in. We have what's called the firstest class, where you get to give feedback and ask direct questions because you have that direct access. In so doing, you help create our final courses and our final ways of doing things within these groups and courses and stuff. So it's a way for you to contribute, to save money, and to be able to say officially, I was there from the beginning. I was in the first in group. I was in the firstest class, as we call it. All right. I love you. I'm Sam the Human. See you on the 22nd at 2:22 p.m. Mountain Time. I love you, and I am out of here.